At first glance, being a Pokemon trainer sounds like a dream. Traveling the world, catching cool creatures, and battling your way to glory. But take a closer look, and it's not all sunshine and Pokepuffs. Behind the badges and epic battles lies a much darker reality. This is the disturbing truth about what it really means to be a Pokemon trainer. It's not all fun and games when you dig into the fine print. In fact, being a Pokemon trainer just might be the toughest job in the world. Trainers form deep emotional bonds with their Pokemon, but those bonds often come at a cost. Constant battles, separations, and even Pokemon fainting in combat can wear down anyone. Ash alone has had to say goodbye to more friends than most people have in a lifetime, and every loss, it hurts. Imagine training a partner from the ground up, only to release them for their own good, over and over. That's not just sad, it's traumatizing. Think about how hard it must have been for Ash when he had to let go of his beloved Butterfree. He spent hours, days, and weeks training with that Pokemon, only to let it go for the sake of love and freedom. And let's not forget the countless battles where Ash's Pokemon get injured or faint. Each time a Pokemon hits the ground, it's a moment of despair. For the trainer, the battle isn't over when the Pokemon faints. It's a constant reminder that their partner is hurt, and it's up to them to make sure they don't repeat the same mistakes. There's not much formal education for trainers. No classes, no diplomas, just vibes. These kids vanish into the wild to chase a career that maybe 1% of them will actually succeed in. Most trainers don't become champions. Most don't even get past the first gym. And when they fail, there's no backup plan. No job, no money, just a lifetime of aimless wandering. Ash left home when he was just 10, and while he has a goal to become the greatest Pokemon master, what's the real reward? If Ash didn't become champion, would he just wander from town to town forever, battling in random leagues with no future? That's not stability, it's the definition of uncertainty. Even the most successful trainers don't seem to have a retirement plan. Where do they go when they've beaten all the gyms and collected all the badges? You might get a prestigious title, but what's the payoff behind the fame? A trainer's life isn't as glamorous as it seems when you realize there's no structure or security in place. If you think the Pokedex is just a quirky flavor text, think again. According to the Dex, some Pokemon literally drag kids to the underworld, some used to be dead people, one is just a pile of souls. And trainers walk around with these things in their pockets like it's normal. Imagine sleeping next to a ghost type that cries like a child because it remembers being human. Sweet dreams. The Pokédex is a horror show if you pay close attention. Take Drifloon for instance. It's known to take children away. Or Yamask, a Pokemon that is literally the soul of a person who died. Not to mention Phantom, a ghost Pokemon that was once a lost child's soul trapped in a tree. These are the types of creatures you're carrying around when you're a Pokemon trainer. You could be best friends with a creature who literally haunted its former life. Sure, they're cute or strong in battle, but have you ever stopped to think about the psychological toll that'd take on you? Not all trainers treat their Pokemon like friends. Some see them as tools, and when they're not strong enough, they get left behind. Injured Pokemon, overtraining, and forced evolution. It's all a part of the darker side of training. Even in the anime, we've seen Pokemon mistreated, overworked, and discarded. And the worst part is no system in place to stop it. Take Paul for example. He treats his Pokemon like mere tools for his personal advancements. His relationship with Chimchar was nothing short of abusive, pushing it to evolve before it was ready. Not to mention how he constantly belittled his own Pokemon when they couldn't meet his expectations. And what happens to the Pokemon that are deemed useless? They're either abandoned or traded away without a second thought. There are no regulations to stop trainers from exploiting their Pokemon. What kind of society allows that? It's heartbreaking to think that the very creatures trainers are supposed to be protecting often face neglect and cruelty. Becoming a Pokemon champion is the ultimate goal, but what's the cost of that ambition? After every victory, there's another challenge to face. The journey never ends. Sure, Ash achieved his long-time dream, but where does he go from there? More traveling, more battles, more Pokemon? The quest for greatness would never give him the peace or closure he deserves. It's a never-ending grind that leaves trainers physically and emotionally drained, always chasing the next goal, never truly able to reset. And Ash isn't alone in this. Even when he finally became champion in Alola, did he finally get to relax? No, he's immediately sent off into a new region, with new challenges, always in pursuit of the next great battle. Trainers have to constantly push themselves, and it takes a serious toll on their well-being. The pursuit of greatness comes with sacrifices that never seem to end. Being a Pokemon trainer is a path full of adventure, friendship, and discovery, but it's not without its darkness. The emotional scars, the dangerous encounters, and the sacrifices made along the way paint a picture of a journey that isn't all that bright and colorful. So despite the darkness, trainers remain determined to move forward, knowing they're part of a bigger world than themselves. So the next time you watch your favorite trainer, remember, there's more to their journey than meets the eye. And in the end, that's what makes their story truly unforgettable.